There are all kinds of businesses. They come in different sizes and sell every type of product and service. We have tips from businessmen and women who, no matter how diverse they are personally and professionally, all have at least one thing in common. They all started their own businesses and made them a success.
One of the best things in the world is to be your own boss, but it goes deeper than that. I started Parker Distribution because I feel like in America, all the laws are based for the businessman. And I feel like it's un-American if you don't go into business for yourself at least one time seriously.
One, you have to have a good business plan. Two, that business plan must focus on something that you know a good deal about and or have the expertise surrounding you in that particular arena. You must be sufficiently financed, and it must not all be borrowed money. And three, you must be willing to work long hours.
Being young and in business has its difficulties. People question my track record and my capabilities and so forth, but I proved to them, that I made a commitment and I pushed forward and made things happen, and things have turned out very well. It's like being in control of my own destiny, and I highly recommend it to anyone.
Key issue is making a profit. Now, many people believe just because you have a business that you're rich, that you've got a lot of money, that every dollar in there coming in the door is yours. Not near the truth, okay? Not near the truth. Just about every dollar that comes into this business goes out for expenses, okay? And if there is something left, I get to put some of that in my pocket in terms of a salary or whatever. But the real issue is building the business.
There are three basic experience levels that we want the business to have before we finance it. One is operational. In other words, does the person know the product or service that they're doing? Do they have years of experience in it? Secondly is financial, and that can be fulfilled by a competent CPA, okay? And third is marketing. Does the person have the ability to sell it themselves, or do they have a sales staff that can help them to do that?
Risk is all in the mind. I mean, how important is failure or losing face to you? If those things you consider to be very important, then you might not. You might think risk is something you don't want to take. But if you're prepared to lose money, maybe lose some friends, maybe lose a lot of your time and energy on something, then I think you can succeed. But risk is really in the mind. Risk will never kill you.
Construction and engineering basically is a male-dominated business. I think you have to let people know that you are about business, and also at the same time not to treat you as a female. I've been approached and patted on the back and tried to be pacified, and sometimes I've had to reduce myself a little bit to let them know that I was serious about what I was talking about, almost to the point of making people's mouths drop, but that's okay. I'm here to take care of the business at hand, not to be pacified and not to be run over.
There's a growing up in the old neighborhood that does make a difference, right? I mean, there's a street smarts you get in terms of looking at something and knowing when it's a deal. I was selling Christmas cards at age 7. My territory was wherever I could go without crossing the street. If I crossed the street, I was going to get it from my mother or father. But as long as I could keep going around that block, I could do fine. And I sold the whole gang Christmas cards doing that, and that was at age 7. So it's a matter of a mindset of what you want to do and where you want to be and what you want to achieve. And I've always wanted to have some degree of economic security, so that I could live decently, but also so I could give something back.
You've got to have integrity, and you've got to be sure that you represent what you say you represent. You see, and there are no shortcuts. There's no people who want to get wealthy. So many people think that radio or something of that sort is a way to get rich quick. But there's no shortcut to wealth. Success. Those things are earned.
One of the famous Detroit ex-Tiger baseball players, Willie Horton, said to a group of grade school students that he was talking to one day, a little kid, 4 years old, eyes bright and shiny, looking at Willie Horton, batting American League champ, said, "Willie, have you ever struck out?" Frankly, I was afraid what Willie was going to say, because he hit a lot of home runs and he also struck out a lot. Well, he looked at the kid and said, "If you haven't struck out, you haven't played the game." which was absolutely the perfect answer for that question. So what we would say to our young people is, do not fear failure. You have a right to succeed, and you also have a right to fail. You have a right to take the opportunities that your skills and your wherewithal can take you to. So it's hard work, it's being dedicated to what you want to do, and it's picking the kind of role model that will stretch your capacities. If you look for something easy, you're apt not to make it. But if you understand the realities, the harshness of the world, the problems of doing business, then you will savor the rewards of that when you get to the top. And I would say to the kids today, set your sights high. You can really do more things than you think today is possible for you. And if you don't believe you can do it, you'll never do it.
Thanks for watching this issue of the Small Business Magazine. We hope we've provided some inspiration and some motivation.
So take your good idea and develop it. You never know, your business may be the next successful business on the cover of the Small Business Magazine.